Hello, my name is John Tillery and I'm one of the elders at First Colony Bible Chapel as well as a pastor-teacher. Thank you for joining us today as we talk about our child and youth abuse prevention and reporting policy, a very important issue concerning life and ministry at First Colony Bible Chapel. First Colony is dedicated to providing and maintaining a safe, secure, creative, and Christ-centered environment for every child who takes part in each ministry we offer, to help protect children and ensure proactive compliance with local reporting guidelines. First Colony Bible Chapel has adopted a child and youth abuse prevention and reporting policy. It's important that all First Colony Bible Chapel paid staff and volunteers understand and implement these guidelines to help prevent abuse against children, and also to ensure it is expediently and accurately reported if it should occur. Now, these procedures are intended to reduce the risk of child abuse at First Colony or during events sponsored by First Colony by providing a safe and secure environment for children, youth, adults, members, volunteers, visitors, and paid staff. The policy also assists First Colony in evaluating a person's suitability to supervise, oversee, and or to exert control over the activities of children and youth. Additionally, they also help to satisfy the concerns of parents and staff members with a screening process for paid staff and volunteers. Moreover, they ensure that First Colony Bible Chapel and its paid and volunteer staff responds to accusations or suspicions of child abuse in an appropriate manner that complies with local reporting requirements and also builds trust and strengthens the reputation of the chapel in the local community. Finally, they reduce the possibility of false accusations of sexual abuse made against volunteers and paid staff. So, now for some definitions. Child abuse includes physical, sexual, emotional abuse, and also molestation, exploitation, and neglect. These important terms are defined as follows. Sexual abuse: the employment, use, persuasion, inducement, enticement, or coercion of any minor or adult to engage in or assist any other person to engage in any sexually explicit conduct or any simulation of such conduct for the purpose of producing any visual depiction of such conduct, or rape, and in cases of caretaker or interfamilial relationships, statutory rape, molestation, prostitution, or other form of sexual exploitation of minor or adult, or incest with the minor or adult, as defined by federal and state law. This includes and is not limited to unwelcome sexual remarks, jokes, advance, leering, whistling, or sexual gestures, sexual touching, fondling, molestation, assault, or other intimate physical contact, compelling another person to engage in a sexual act by threats or fear, undue influence, and providing or displaying pornographic materials to another person. Child emotional abuse: verbal or nonverbal conduct, including mental exploitation, degrading communication, or humiliating or threatening conduct that may or may not include bullying or as defined by state law. Child physical abuse: physical child abuse is physical injury inflicted upon the child with cruel or malicious intent. Physical abuse can be the result of punching, beating, kicking, biting, burning, shaking, or otherwise harming a child physically. Child molestation: a crime involving a range of indecent or sexual activities between an adult and a child. Child neglect: child neglect is defined as a type of maltreatment related to the failure to provide needed, age-appropriate care. Unlike physical and sexual abuse, neglect is usually typified by an ongoing pattern of inadequate care and is readily observed by individuals in close contact with the child. Screening procedures are used with paid staff and volunteers who are entrusted with the care and supervision of minors, or a person who directly oversees and or exerts control or oversight over minors. All information collected is maintained in confidence. Employment application and volunteer application Any paid staff and volunteers who will work with a minor must complete the employment application and/or the volunteer application. The release statement attached to the application must be signed by the individual completing the application to apply for and qualify for service. So please visit www.Ministry Opportunities First Colony Bible to fill out the online application. Again, that's www.Ministry Opportunities / First Colony Bible Chapel. Our employment application includes questions regarding current and previous residence addresses. Current and previous employment, including addresses, dates, duties, titles, and reasons for leaving. Names and addresses of schools attended and degrees earned. References from previous employees, employers, and organizations that serve children. Pending criminal charges where not prohibited by state law. Criminal history information. Our volunteer application also includes questions regarding your current address, volunteer experience, criminal history, and again, where allowed by state law, personal references, and a criminal background check. First Colony Bible Chapel will conduct a criminal background check on all paid staff and volunteers who are entrusted with the care and supervision of minors, or a person who directly oversees or exerts control or oversight over minors. All criminal background checks will be updated every 3 years. All volunteers will be required to have reviewed and signed the Child and Youth Prevention Program, the Child and Youth Abuse Prevention Program. Information obtained through the screening, application, reference check, interview, and criminal background check will be kept in confidence unless otherwise required by law. All information discovered or obtained through the above reference means will be kept in a secure location, and access to it will be restricted. These materials will be archived. Unless an extenuating situation exists, First Colony Bible Chapel will have adequate number of screened and trained paid staff or volunteers present at events involving minors. Supervision will increase in proportion to the risk of the activity. We'll obtain written parental permission, including a signed medical treatment form and emergency contacts before taking minors on trips, and should provide information regarding the trip. We'll also encourage minors to use a buddy system whenever minors go on trips off of First Colony Bible Chapel property. All volunteers and paid staff will observe the following guidelines. Do not provide alcoholic beverages, tobacco, drugs, contraband, or anything that is prohibited by law to minors. To the extent possible, First Colony Bible Chapel events that are coeducational will have both male and female chaperones. Whenever possible, at least 2 paid staff or volunteers will be in the room when minors are present. Doors will be left fully open if one adult needs to leave the room temporarily and during arrival to the class or event before both adults are present. Speaking to a minor or minors one-on-one should be done in public settings where paid staff or volunteers are in sight of other people. Avoid all inappropriate touching with minors. Never engage in physical discipline of a minor. Volunteers and paid staff shall not abuse minors in any way, including but not limited to physical abuse, verbal, mental abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse of any kind. Anyone who observes abuse of a minor will take appropriate steps to immediately intervene and provide assistance. Report any inappropriate conduct to the proper authorities and officials of First Colony Bible Chapel for handling. No person may be entrusted with the care and supervision of minors or may directly oversee and or exert control or oversight over minors who has been convicted of the offenses outlined below, been on a probated sentence, or received deferred adjudication, and for any offense outlined below, or is presently pending any criminal charges for any offense outlined below, till a determination of guilt or innocence has been made, including any person who is presently on deferred adjudication. The following offenses disqualify a person from care, supervision, control, or oversight of minors. Any offense against minors is defined by state law. A misdemeanor or offense, felony offense, is defined by state law that is classified as a sexual assault, indecency with a minor or adult, assault of a minor or adult, injury to a minor or adult, abandoning or endangering a minor, sexual performance with a minor or adult, possession or promoting child pornography, enticing a minor to bigamy, incest, drug use offenses, or violence. Prior criminal history of an offense against minors. If any First Colony staff member or volunteer receives an allegation or has reasonable suspicions of child physical, sexual, or emotional abuse, exploitation, or neglect, First Colony will respond with the utmost concern to the victim, parent, or other party making such allegation. When child abuse or neglect is suspected, the protection of children must be the most important concern. Failure to report could lead to further injury to the child and liability on the part of the ministry, the observer, or both. Anyone who has first-hand knowledge of or reason to suspect abuse or neglect must report it to an officially recognized elder or pastor to help ensure that protection can be quickly obtained for a child at risk and to ensure that First Colony can respond appropriately. If the accused has assigned duties within the life of the church, that person will be temporarily relieved of his or her duties until the investigation is concluded. As appropriate, and upon being cleared of the abuse allegations, he or she will be permitted to resume their duties. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of the ministry of First Colony Bible Chapel and taking care of the children. God bless.